You think makeup is about looking beautiful. That's the newest, smallest part of the story. 100,000 years ago, before farming, before writing, before cities, humans were already grinding red pigment and painting their skin. Not to be pretty, to broadcast who they were, what they'd done, and what they wanted you to believe. Makeup wasn't born from vanity, it was born from signaling. Let's start with how old this really is. In a cave on the coast of South Africa, a place called Blombos, archaeologists found something that stops you cold: a workshop. Grindstones, bone, charcoal, and 2 abalone shells still stained deep red. The leftover kit for making paint, sealed in the ground for 100,000 years. Sit with that number. Writing is about 5,000 years old. Farming, around 12,000. The first cities came later still, and yet, tens of thousands of years before any of that, humans were carefully mixing pigment to put on their bodies. Decorating ourselves is not a modern indulgence. It's one of the oldest things we do. But here's where honesty matters. We can't be certain exactly what all that pigment was for. Red ochre is useful stuff. You can tan hides with it, glue stone tools together, maybe even smear it on as sun protection. So when archaeologists find it, they can't always tell whether it was paint for skin or simply a Stone Age adhesive. Anyone who tells you the first makeup is a settled fact is skipping the argument. But the pattern points somewhere. Again and again, across sites and continents, we find ochre ground into fine powder, mixed into portable paint, chosen for the reddest, most vivid color. Far more effort than glue would ever need. And we find it alongside beads and shells worn on the body. The leading interpretation is hard to escape. A lot of this was decoration. We were painting ourselves. Which raises the real question. Why? Because decoration is never just decoration. When you put something on your face that everyone can see, you are making a statement. And for most of human history, that statement did 3 powerful jobs. The first was belonging. In a world of scattered bands, the paint on your skin could mark your tribe, your people, your side. One pattern meant you were one of us. Another marked you as a stranger. Before flags, before uniforms, before borders. A painted face was how a human announced which group they belonged to. The second was status. Marks earned, not given. A pattern that said, I have hunted. I have survived my initiation. I have led or crossed into adulthood. Your decorated body was a resume that everyone could read at a glance, a way of wearing your achievements on your skin. And the third was transformation. Paint let a person stop being themselves for a while. Warriors became something fiercer before a fight. Mourners marked themselves as touched by death. In ritual, ordinary people could become spirits, ancestors, something more than human. A painted face was a mask you didn't have to carry, a way to step out of your own identity and into another. And notice what's missing from all of that. This wasn't about women looking attractive for men. Ancient body paint was for everyone: hunters, elders, warriors, the grieving, the initiated. The idea that decorating your face is a female, romantic thing is extremely recent. For almost all of human history, it was universal and it was serious. But there's a darker thread running under all of it. And this is the part that should make you look twice at your own reflection. Because makeup doesn't just send messages, it bends them, it lies. Think about what modern makeup actually does. It darkens the eyes and lashes to make them look bigger. It reddens the lips, it evens out of the skin and hides its flaws. Every one of those is exaggerating a signal your body sends naturally, a signal of youth, health, and fertility. Big eyes, full lips, clear, even skin. These are things a healthy young body tends to have. Makeup takes those honest signals and dials them up past what's real. In the cold language of biology, that's a counterfeit. You are borrowing the appearance of health and youth you may not fully have, and presenting it to the world as if it were true. The face becomes an argument, and makeup is how you win it without saying a word. When our ancestors first reached for that red pigment, they weren't just decorating. They were learning to control the story their own face told, and to tell it better than the truth. And we weren't even the only humans doing it. There's evidence that Neanderthals used pigments and shells too, possibly to decorate themselves. If so, the urge to paint the body may be older than our species. It might be something we inherited, not invented. Now look at where it all leads: a global cosmetics industry worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Filters that reshape your face before the photo is even taken. We've spent 100,000 years perfecting a single trick, changing how other people see us. The tools got sharper. The instinct never changed. So no, makeup was never really about being beautiful. It was about being read, about walking into a room and controlling what everyone in it decides you are. The oldest technology we have for lying with our faces is still the one we reach for every single morning. If this changed the way you see the person in the mirror, subscribe. Every week we dig up the ancient reasons behind the things you do without thinking. Because the strangest part of being human is how much of it you never chose.